talked about and touched on earlier, but some of the changes are ones that bear repeating. Others we're going to be talking about for the first time. There are changes, things that you should know in order to get the most out of what you deserve, what you've worked for so many years to get out of Social Security. That's what we're going to be talking about in the first half of our program. And then we've got a real interesting segment planned for you in the second part of the program, too, because Bob Fitzgerald is going to be joining us. Bob is a local gentleman who's recorded a record. We're going to be talking about the music industry today, just what it's like to get a record recorded and to try to get your feet wet in the music business. We've got copies of Bob's records, and we're going to be talking about them, listening to them, and finding out a little something about the music industry today. So we trust you'll stay with us for an interesting program.
The times we shared are fond memories graced by years, those times of understanding.
Well, we just heard a very, very few seconds of Bob Fitzgerald's record. That was Bob Fitzgerald. It looks like he was in the countryside of Ithaca, but it wasn't really, but that's the poster that's gone out in connection with your record, Bob?
Right, Paul.
Okay, very good. I have newspaper clippings and some other things here about you, and it tells me that 14 years ago you were right in this very studio.
Yeah, right here at the same, this place, Ted Mack, trying out for his show, didn't make it. Trying again, I guess, a comeback quite a few years later.
14 years later. I'm not Ted Mack, though. But, anyway, that's the one thing I've found since doing the morning show. There's been a lot of things that have gone on in this room, that's for sure. It's taken on a lot of different shapes. Even on our morning show, we've had everything from blood banks to cooking shows to music in here. Welcome to the morning show.
Thank you, Paul.
Glad to have you here. Bob, did you write the song that we just began to hear, or
no?
How did you actually find the song?
Well, Marshall Such, who was going to be here with me this morning to help me out, I guess, is from Ithaca, and I guess he didn't make it down the roads and all. He wrote the music. Another fellow up there, Al Butterfield, wrote the words, and they put it together. They had a couple girls sing it, sent it to New York. People in New York said they liked the song. They didn't like the vocalist on it, so they tried it with me, and we're just trying it, using the whole gamut, all the different people, and seeing what I can do with it.
How did you get into music? You talked about 14 years ago being a very young singer. What's happened in the 14 years since that fostered your interest in music?
Well, from the high soprano voice, 14 years ago, I guess, till now, I went through the era of the chorus when you're a young kid, and but then got out of that for sports. Didn't like anything to do with music or singing or anything. Parents told me to take piano. Took piano for 6 months, I guess, in 6th grade. Didn't like any minute of it at all. Hurt my knee playing basketball in college, and decided to go back to singing because I couldn't play any more sports. So
sort of forced into it.
Yeah,
but,
kind of, really. I'd rather be still playing ball.
But it worked out well.
I shouldn't say that. I like what I'm doing, I guess I should say.
Yeah, but it seems to have worked.
Yeah.
The record company that you're working on now, is this a local company? You're working quite a bit out of Ithaca.
Yeah. Right now we're working with, as I say, Calf Celebration, Marshall Such in Ithaca. He owns a studio, him and 2 other fellas. They write the music. They're basically involved with a company called Single Jingle, and they